Okay, good. All righty. So I am on there. Let me move this over here. All righty. And I think I'm good. There. All right. Good morning. Let's see. And I mean, back to sharing. Let's go to screen number one. Oh, I guess I wasn't sharing in the first place. I thought I was. Y'all supposed to let me know. I didn't know I wasn't sharing my screen. My apologies. My apologies. Um, Wait a minute, how are they doing this? Something different. Okay. I think they did an update. Give me 1 second, you guys. I think they did some sort of update on here. Oh, so you guys did see my screen sharing? If you see, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, well, all right. Yeah, they didn't change it up again. That's what the problem is. And they changed it up again. All right. Okay. Anyway, let's keep it moving. All right, you guys. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you everybody for the kind words of condolence for the family and stuff like that. We're just going to have a short class today. I just wanted to make sure to uh, um, just to be able to go over the charts for a few minutes and take any questions, and then I'm gonna be out of here. All right. So, and then I'm going to be out next week. No class will be held next week. I'll be out of town. So make sure if you have any questions to go ahead and fire away today. Um, there were a couple of things I was looking at this morning. First of all, the market has been in consolidation for quite some time now. That's what it's doing. It's just really raggedy. Like even this right here, you can see this here. Oops, excuse me. Okay, consolidation. It's just sitting in a consolidatory pattern. And I know Fed Chairman Powell is going to be talking again, but this is what a lot of stuff that I saw this week. But there was some arrows that came out on the 30. Those who's doing a 30-minute. This one, it gave you a couple of pips if you were trading overnight. Again, I'm not trading overnight. I've been waking up at 7 in the morning, but again, here goes something where this one gave you a couple of pips here. How many? About 13. You could treat it like a scalp. By the way, for those who always wanted to scalp, and this one gave you about 26 pips. So between 13 and that one, 26 and 13 is 26, 36, 39 pips between the two. And I saw those last night, but I just decided, you know what, because I couldn't sleep and I saw those, but I'm like, you know what, I'm not trading. But I did see GU, and I seen that, and I did see GCAD last night. So if you're a London trader, you could have taken advantage of those. Okay. And but the point was, I saw also this little head and shoulders. I said, well, this probably going to come up to there, and it almost did. See, that's what I saw. And it almost came up there, and then it got stopped, and then it dropped. So for those who have the SA, the sexy analyst trading system, if the analyst gives you a resistance dot, this this is an indicator to start taking your profit. Start taking profits, even if it's a short scalp trade. See, like this one came out. You see that? Everybody see this? Type of yes if you see this. Okay. This lets me know, start taking some money off the table. and I saw this, and I was literally saying, you know what? I'm gonna look at this thing because I see from the 1 hour, I see this head, see the head right here, and shoulder, and another shoulder, and it looks like it's retesting it here. And I said, man, I'm gonna keep my eye on that and look at where it's coming very, very close to that shoulder right here. Okay, going to the 4 hour. See, 4 hours already set the top. Here's a top. Here's another one. So I said either it's going to do a head and shoulders or it's going to retest this level. So my eyes are being hawkish on this one. I'm keeping my eyes wide open on this one. I was hoping that it would retest all the way up, but that's what I was looking at on GU. But we do have Fed Chairman Powell testifying again in about an hour. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I also saw some 415ers, which is all I'm doing for the time being. I'm just going to the market and looking for 415ers. And this one you can see is just consolidating. And what I'm doing is if I don't see that you're moving by the time London is done, then I'll just close you out. Even if it's a small loss or whatever, I don't care. I'm just want to get out of you. Okay, see, like this one, that was a 30-minute arrow. You could have took some pips on this one, which I did. I'm in this trade on an account. So you just, like I said, just looking for 415er, so 30-minute arrow or 415er. Okay. Now let me share this with you guys. Okay. One of the benefits for me, because I told you guys the session that's going to kill your account the most is going to be what session? Let me see if anybody remembers that. What session I said going to kill your account the most? There you go. London. London always is the account killer. London session is the most dangerous. Okay. London is dangerous. It is one of the worst sessions to trade because most foolishness happens during the London session. Okay. So because of that, I'm taking a break away from it. And I'm only taking trades pre-US session. Like I've been telling you guys, unless I'm doing ocean wave trades. If I'm using the ocean wave system, then yes, I like using it at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 10 p.m. New York time. Okay, so that is what I like to do. I like to use the ocean wave for that. But if I'm using the arrows, I simply like to use the ones that are coming out pre-US session, meaning 6:30, 7 o'clock US time. 6:30, 7 o'clock a.m. New York time. Just write that in your notes. Because what happens is that I'm avoiding a lot of different things. And there were some benefits that I also began to recognize. On Sundays, I do the news events for the coming week. But because since I'm only trading just pre-New York and trying to get out, if I can, by the end of London, which is 12 p.m. New York time. So basically between 7:11 or 7 or 12 New York time. Okay, 7 a.m. I'm looking, trying to get out by 11. Okay, regardless of whether I get a lot, little, or nothing at all is cool. I'm just trying to go and get in and get out. Okay, so 2 points of benefits for that. Number one, sometimes you're going to get some trades where you're only going to get 5 or 10 pips. Well, great news is treat it as a scalp. You always want to be a scalper. You don't have to do it off a 5-minute time frame. You don't always have to do it off of 1 minute. A scalp trade, in my mind, is simply a trade that only gave you about 5 or 10 pips, 15 pips. It's just a small number of pips. What time frame you're using to get them, it don't really matter, does it? Because pips are pips. Am I right? Type of 10 if I'm right. We give these technical names when in essence it really don't matter. Pips are pips. Whether I get 3 pips, 5 pips, 10 pips, I treat it as a scalp. All right, cool. Close it out and come back tomorrow. Okay. So you don't always have to push yourself into the window of, a scalp has to be done on a 5-minute or 1 minute time frame where things are moving too fast for you that you don't really understand, which is what happens to most Forex traders. You're trading time frames that you don't understand. So for me, the reason why I like the 15, 30, 1 hour or 4 hour, because I can take the step back and see things from a bigger perspective. Okay. And I'm always, no matter what time frame I'm trading from, whether it's the 15-minute or 30-minute or even a 1 hour, I don't care. Either way it goes, the first thing I want to do before I take the trade is take a look at what's going on with the 4 hour. Because the 4 hour is going to give me a little bit more information on where the direction of the overall market is doing and where it may be going. And then from there, I can do a 415er, which, a 415er is simply we go to the 4 hour time frame and, like for this one, this one had a 15-minute arrow and I see it sitting here and it's consolidating. Okay. So I go to the 4 hour and this one I say, oh, I see it. We got two or more candles. So I will take a chance on this one, not a big one, because I don't like that it's consolidating. But that's all it is. It's just a simple 415er. But I do see that it has stopped up in this area. Okay. I can drop to the 1 hour and I can see the same thing. I can drop to the 30-minute and work my way on down. But either way it goes, that 4 hour will be included in my analysis because it tells me the overall broader market, what is going on. Okay. So if you're doing a 415er, cool. And if this thing, for an example, if I was in this trade and this thing still ain't budged by the time London closed, and then I'll just close it out and I'll come back tomorrow. Why? Because I don't really want to hold this thing going into London because guess what? It may do a breakup or a breakout from this area because anytime there's consolidation, what happens typically? What have I talked to you guys for the longest? Consolidations equal what? Pop-ups. Yep. Breakouts. What else? There's another term I'm looking for. You guys are correct, but I'm looking for a term so we can teach the newbies. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for it. Rob, you got it. Rob got the ding, 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 ding. Rob L, you got it. Consolidation equals continuation. Typically, when there's consolidation, there's going to be continuation. Okay, so watch this. Here's a perfect example. And you see there was an evidence dot, meaning there was a sell arrow right here. It did go down a bit, but because it was in a consolidatory pattern, it stayed in this range and then boom, you had to break out and come back up. So now we're looking at the same thing right here. See, it's consolidating, and that means it can go either way. Is this a true reversal? Possibly, but it could also be a consolidation for a continuation. Why? Especially on the JPY pairs. I have been nibbling on them because they are due for a reversal. But if it don't give me what I'm looking for, I'd rather take me a small loss of a 5 pips, 10 pips, whatever. I can always make that back versus holding it right here. And then you lose without a stop loss because a lot of y'all ain't using stop loss and now you're down 40. Okay. So either way it goes, I'm looking to get in and get out because I don't trust the markets. It seems like to me, and those are the two benefits. Like I said, number one, you can treat it as a scalp. Whatever few pips they give you, sometimes they're going to give you a lot of pips, sometimes they give you a few. Either way it goes, hey, it is what it is. It's cool. And number two, the bigger benefit is, and I forgot to tell you guys this, the bigger benefit is all of them news events that I'll be doing on Sundays, I realize I don't even care. It doesn't matter. Like for an example, Dr. Elvis hit a lick last night for the CC group, for the copycat family. He did a sell trade on NJ and man, that thing dropped. Why did it drop though? Anybody know? Why did it drop? Why did this one drop? Why did it drop so hard? You got it, Rob, again. There you go. There you go, Reg. Okay, interest rate news. Interest rate news came out, and that forced the NZD. That was some bad news. Okay. Ooh, goodness. Look at that. Dropped hard. Oh, my God. It dropped like a rock. And then everything that was against it, see? Boom. 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 Okay. See? So that's why that did what it did. But here's the problem. The point is that did I even care about it? Did I even care what was going on? Yes or no? Somebody said they made some money on that announcement too. No, I don't even care. Why? Because I'm not trading during that time anyway. So a lot of the news that comes out, the majority, watch this, the majority of the news events that come out, they come out from the Asian session throughout the London session. By the time you get to the New York session or pre-New York, there's only two actual uh, currencies that you have to be concerned with news. Anybody know what those two are? What are the two currencies you only have to worry about their news events? Any guess? US and CAD. Monica, you got it. Reg, you got it. There you go. Boom, boom. USD and CAD. Because CAD brings out their news and US bring out their news during the US session. Okay. That's the only two. Other than that, there are no news events that you have to worry about. So that means there are 7 different currencies. Oh, I just moved my hand. So now the camera gonna try to follow me. What up? What up, home? Okay, it stopped. All right, so there's 7 different categories, 7 different currencies. Okay, and let me show you guys this. So you have AUD 1, CHF, the Swiss franc 2, CAD is 3, Euro is 4, GBP is 5, NZD is 6, USD is 7. We have 7 different currencies to worry about. And in this list of trading tools, if you're trading currencies only, within these currencies, you got all these different combinations. I think there's a total of 28 in total. But basically, at the end of the day, and that doesn't include the exotic pairs as well, because you do have exotics, but I don't trade exotics because the spreads are so high. But the point is that you have 28 different pairs that you can mix and mingle these with, okay? However, if I'm only trading pre-New York for myself to reduce the amount of time I'm on the charts and to avoid having to deal with so much news events, I just eliminated 5 out of the 7 because only the CAD and only the USD will have news during the US session. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, again, you can do what you want. Hold on, let me tell this camera to stop moving. Okay. You guys can do what you want. I'm not telling you not to trade anything else. Do what you want, but I'm just telling you what has been working for me. Okay. All right. And it makes me less stressed out, to be honest with you, over trading because I'm only in there a few hours. Something happens, cool. If nothing happens, I'll just close it up, come back tomorrow. Why? Because I know that what happens is, and I've been monitoring this for a very, very long time. You're going to have days where not much is going to happen because maybe there's big news events. Like again, today we have Fed Chairman Powell coming out. So the market is really, just been consolidating since yesterday when he's set to testify on yesterday and today. So the markets are not going to move. But one thing I do know is when I constantly keep showing up, let me give it to you guys like this, and then I'll take questions. Have you, no, I haven't had that. I haven't had that experience with CoinX. Yeah, that didn't happen to me. The moves can be big, but the spreads, no, I haven't had any big spreads on that using CoinX, which is what I'm still using. Um, Now, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, yes, all of these brokers, they do the same thing. Their spreads go real wide, which is why I've always told you guys never trade the first trading hour of the trading day, which is from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or New York time. Don't trade that hour. Okay. All the brokers, they do the same thing. They open them spreads. You lose trades because you don't know what's happening. Okay. Um, but I lost my train of thought. Um, Dang it, I lost my train of thought. I should have read that afterwards. I was going to share something important with you guys. Either way goes. Okay, well, that's that. It'll come back to me later. Any questions for today? Hit me up. Any questions? Raise your hand, please, and I'll go straight into questions. And again, thank you everybody who sent the condolences for the family. And by the way, somebody sent an email. I didn't understand what they were talking about some food list. No, I sent out a food for thought on yesterday because one of the things that we're dealing with is with a this person. The mother died from smoking and from cancer because of smoking 5 years ago, and now the husband died yesterday or 48 hours ago, and they because of their their habits, they left behind four children, and three of them are under the age of 18, so they don't have a parent. So now everybody else is scrambling to figure out what to do to take care of the children because of the habits of the parents. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And then what makes it worse is because we tried to communicate some strategies because we knew the dad wasn't feeling well. So we tried to communicate some strategies um, to help the dad put some things in place. And he said, no, I don't want to do that. And now you've passed away and you've left the responsibility of figuring things out to everybody else now that you're gone. Who's going to have the house? Who's going to have the kids? And of course, when family members get involved, it becomes a battle over not just over the possession of the kids, but the possession of the kids plus the check that comes with the kids plus the house and the cars. And it's just going to be a hot mess. Do everybody understand what I'm saying? Say yes if you understand. Okay. So number one, my food for thought on yesterday, and go ahead and raise your hand and I'll get to your hands if you have questions. My food for thought from yesterday is let's just be careful of our proclivities. Everybody has a proclivity. Everybody has their little thing that they like. Like I told you guys, I love my cupcakes and my hostess cupcakes. Oh my God, I love them things. So sugar is my addiction. I'm addicted to sugar, not candy. But I do like apple pie and cupcakes and stuff like that, pastries. Okay, donuts. I love donut holes, glazed donut holes. So sugar ain't good either. So that's why I can't talk about the person who smokes, a person who smoke weed, and this person who drink. I'm saying, pray about reducing or getting rid of because I'm working away from getting from my addiction. I'm far better than what I used to be because I know it's going to do harm later on. It could give me sugar diabetes. It can lead to Alzheimer's late in the year, which is what my dad died from. It could lead to many different things. So our habits. Let me give it to you like this before I take a hand. And I'm sorry for sharing this, but my heart is heavy. I was praying about this the other day, and the Lord was sharing with me that we're killing ourselves by the very thing we're putting in here. That's that's what we're doing. We're killing ourselves by what we put in here, and then we kill relationships by what comes out of here. I will repeat that again. And I'm sorry I'm not organized today. Again, I'm dealing with grief, and so is my wife. But the point is, I wanted to still show up, to go over charts and stuff, and then I'll take questions and this and that. And Liz, I see your hand, and I'll take your hand momentarily. But let me say that again. We're killing ourselves by what we're putting in here, and we kill relationships by what comes out of here. Type of 500 if you understood what I just said. By the way, a lot of people criticize Bishop T.D. Jakes, which, that's cool. You don't like him, whatever. You never met him, don't personally know him. You read social media articles and you just go off on people that you really don't even personally know because you heard stories from people you personally don't even know. So you take their word for it and then there you go. But one thing, having known him for so many years, I have learned to show up even when I don't feel like it because I learned that from him. And I learned that from my dad. Those OGs, man, they had the ability to just show up because not because they learned to do what needed to be done despite how they felt. And I'm still learning that lesson, but it's a valuable lesson that the OGs had, the old men. They showed up. the good men of old times. These youngsters, man, they so spoiled brat and they finicky. But a real G, he gonna show up, pain and all, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to show up. Okay, you don't let your emotions rule your day. But I'm just gonna say that again, guys. We really have to start checking ourselves. You know, understand what I'm saying? We really do. We really do. We really do. Really do. Start taking control of ourselves. Even in trading, trading is a highly emotional business, which is why I'm reducing my work hours, if you was to put it in a job terminology, because especially when you're in high emotions already, maybe for some of you guys, you may be going through a loss of income, maybe you lost a job, maybe you're going through a divorce, maybe you're going through a struggle. Your emotions are already overwhelming you because of life. And then you come to this table hoping that the markets will be your financial savior, and the markets end up just doing what they normally do on certain days, which is basically nothing. Or some days you may not win a trade because the market's got some bad news or whatever it may be. And so therefore what happens is that for me, I think the best thing for me to do when I'm in high emotions is to remove myself from the stress of adding more emotional stress to me. And the best way to do that is to not be on these charts as often as I normally would like to be. So for me to ignore the London session, for me to ignore the Asian session and the Sydney session, I just reduced my stress because I'm only looking for a small window of time. And if you give me something, I'm grateful. If you don't give me anything, that's fine. If y'all have to take a small cut, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll make it back. One thing I do know, and that's what I was going to share with you guys that I noticed, is that how often, and let me say this, and I know I'm all over the place, but just hear me out. Let me ask you guys this question: how many times have you ever looked at a trade and said, "Man, I was right there," and you missed it, and there was a big move that happened? Have they ever happened to you? Hmm? Yeah, it happens to all of us. Let me tell you what happens in that situation. What happens in that situation, and it's just your uncle talking to you. And I'm gonna take your hand, Liz. I got you, Liz. Don't go nowhere. I got you, Liz. What happens in that situation is that you may have took on a loss or two, and so now you're in scramble mode, and you're doing things that's outside of what your strategy was. Whatever your strategy was, you're outside of that now, right? And so you're scrambling and you're all over the place. Okay, all right. And so because you're scrambling, you have just become, write this down in your notes, inconsistent. Okay. Thank you, Dre. You have just become inconsistent. You had a strategy, you had a plan, you said you was going to do this and do that. You made that commitment to yourself, and then you took a loss or two. Now your emotions are overwhelming you because you was already stressed out because you was dealing with so much in your personal life. You came to the charts hoping that the charts will be your financial savior. Again, the markets just do what they normally do. Some days they're going to be just absolutely graciously beautiful. Some days they're just going to be like right now, we really ain't doing much of nothing, outside of consolidating, except for the NZD pairs who had interest rate news last night. Outside of that, ain't much going on. And then you have other days where it's just, it's just fabulous. It's just fabulous. And some days are going to be ugly. It is what it is. The difference between you and the professional traders, it's not like they don't have the same occurrences as you do. They have learned to just show up every day and stick to the same routine. Do you hear what I'm saying? They show up every day and they stick to the same routine. And this is what I'm really forcing myself into doing now. Forcing myself just to stay in this routine, 7 o'clock, 6:30 to 7 a.m. New York time in the morning. I'm going to come to these charts, check these 30-minute arrows, see if there's some opportunities, take a trade, set my stop loss, set my take profit, walk away. Or I will look for a 415 trade using simplicity. Okay. 415er. If I see a 415er, everything lines up. Okay, I'll take the trade. Worst case scenario, I hit my stop loss. And then what do I do? Do I keep trading all day long, or I just stop and come back tomorrow? What do I do? Type. What do I do? Derek, I like your answer because you know what? I'm in other groups with some of the people that you guys probably are following on YouTube. And in those groups, guess what? That's the exact same thing. I'm out for today. Win or loss, they always say the same words. I'm out for today. They're done. Literally, they just stop. And they have bad days. They just don't record them on y'all's on YouTube for y'all to see it. You guys see some of the videos where they're having a good day and they make a lot of money, which is cool, right? But they do have bad days. I'm there. I know them. Okay. I know them. They have bad days. They just don't record them. They record the ones showing the money that they made when they did have a good day, but they don't really record the bad days, right? So, and that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. Whatever, do you. It's nothing against them. I'm not trying to say anything funny about that. That's cool. It's called marketing. Hold on, let me tell this camera to stop following me. Okay. So it's just called marketing. So I don't have a problem with that. I'm not against that. But my point is that it happens to everybody. You're not alone in this. They all take hits too because the market gonna do the same thing to them. Like Bishop TDJ just said. He said everybody gonna have crushing points of crushing in your life. No one escapes it. So even in this market, no one escapes bad days. Everybody gets them. Okay. But the difference between them and you is that they show up and do the same routine every day. That's the only thing. I promise you guys, I lie not. And some of these guys, I purposely got in their groups just to see if there was anything extra that I can learn from them to share with you guys. Because I told you guys, I'm still a student myself. I never considered myself an expert in this market. It's too much to learn because these markets are schizophrenic. So it's kind of like trying to master a schizophrenic marriage. And if you know anything about a person dealing with schizophrenia, they can change up on you at any given time. And type amen if some of y'all probably in one of them type of relationships. Type amen. It's schizo. They just switch up on you. They was happy just an hour ago, and all of a sudden they tripping out. You're like, damn, what's going on? Lord, forgive me for using that word, but that's the way the market is. It's schizophrenic. Every candle could be something totally different. Okay. Every candle. That's why you see red ones next to green ones. They just constantly just schizo. But overall, it has a pattern. But if you look at the micro moves, look, this is schizophrenic. Look at USD CAD, schizo. See, schizo, just schizophrenia. It's just all over the place. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? But in this relationship, to make it work, both of you cannot be schizophrenic. One of you have to be stable. Guess which one has to be the stable one? Not the markets. You. You have to come in, you have to show up and do your thing every day. Same time, same bat channel. Back in the old days, they had the old school Batman, and they will always say, same bat time, same bat channel, meaning come back tomorrow. We got another episode tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Okay. In other words, just keep showing up at the same time. Regardless of the results, come back and show up. Don't change the routine, come back and show up. Because what happens is when you change up on the routine, the very next day or two, the big one is right around the corner. In other words, you were right. You just may have been early. But if you show up again, you'll be right there when it happens. Why? Because you constantly show up. You're consistent. Type of 400 if you understand what I'm saying here. Because what I'm sharing with many of you guys, this will solve your trading problem. You show up and be consistent. That is the only thing I'm seeing that they're doing different than you. And that's always been that way. They don't switch and start looking for new strategies. They don't switch and start looking for a million different this and that. They just constantly, once they have zeroed in on something that has worked, they stick to it. And normally for them, their stuff works, just so you guys know, their stuff works 60 to 70% of the time, 60, 70%. But that 60 to 70% is good enough for it to be successful, for them to be highly successful. Just so you guys know. So if they're doing the same thing and they're only winning 67%, but yet they're popular to many of you guys, then what does that mean you need to do? Show up and you will get the 60 to 70% too. You just got to keep showing up and doing the same routine. Is this helpful? Type of 40 in the box if this is helpful for some of you guys. And I also want to thank the YouTube family because we get, I think, anywhere from 6 to 1,000 or more views a week now from students who look at this weekly class. So we get far more people who come back later on and watch than we do in people who's actually here. But I do thank the people who do come to class as well. But I do know that other people are around the world. Some people are at work, so they can't. So because if I forget to post up, the link, people contact me, hey, I didn't get to see the replay. So I'm very grateful for that. That's why I show up, even when I don't feel like it. God knows I do not feel like it. I don't feel like it. Not today, I didn't. But like the same thing I'm telling you with this, it's the same thing I have to do. Just constantly show up. Show up. Okay. All right, let me get to these hands. Go ahead and unmute Liz. Thank you for your patience, Miss Liz.
Good morning, Uncle Pete.
Good morning, sis. What's happening? What's popping?
Okay, so I have a question about the 9 p.m. Eastern time that you check the charts.
Yes.
Is that for ocean wave or
Yes.
is that just for in general?
No, ocean wave only.
Okay, so that would be kind of like Sunday through Tuesday, half Tuesday.
Correct. You got that. You got that. Now, again,
Okay.
you can check midweek reversals during 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But again, and this is just me, sis, this is just me. If I take trades and they're good setups, and they have to be really good setups, I would probably, and this is just to help everybody out, if I am going to look at the charts, at 9 or 10 p.m. and I'm really finding the later, the greater. In other words, 9 p.m. I started paying attention to 9 p.m. You know what the problem is with 9 p.m., which is why I'm suggesting push it out even a little bit further to 10. It's because sometimes when there's news on, like last night on the NZD, guess what comes out? 9 o'clock. AUD news, 9 o'clock. So if you come to the market at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whether you're doing Ocean Wave or Simplicity, guess what you just bypassed? Any news events from the Asian session. Okay. Most of those news events are going to be already gone. So the later, the greater. Even if you come at 11 p.m., 10 to 11, it doesn't matter. The whole point is you want to start coming to these charts when the market has already had all that noise for those sessions that passed. Okay. So if you're going to trade the Asian session, the AUD, NZD, and what else is in there? The CHF, the Swiss franc, whatever. Those, the JPY, you want to trade those late, 10, 11 o'clock. Just more patience, the more better. Why? Because the whole point of what I'm sharing with you guys is I don't want to be trading these pairs where there's any chance of news coming out and knocking me out of the game. If I'm going to lose a trade, let me just lose because you just had a bad day in the markets, right? But not because I'm jumping in and the news is constantly ripping me apart, which is why if I do look for trades during the, and I'm going to push it even further, to be honest with you. Let's just say 10 p.m., 9. But if you want to say, we was doing 9, so we could say 9 to 11, that 2-hour window. But for me, I even started liking the 10 p.m. better if I do that. Because I realized, okay, when I started looking at the news events that I was posting for you guys and what time they're coming out, I started like, oh, wait a minute, wait. NZD last night, you can see the NZD acted a plumb duck fool, right? But what time did they come out? Okay, look at all this, look at all that racket that happened, right? So with the wrong position,
at 9 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah, I would have got knocked out. But what happened if I would have waited 30 minutes to an hour later? Which means all that news was gone. This wouldn't have affected me one bit at all. I would have been able to come to these charts and say, oh my God, what a mess. But then it didn't affect me. Why? Because I'm not trading during these times anyway. And it mattered to me. I'm out of the
Or
way.
for me, it's 9 o'clock Central Time, but I think it was 10 o'clock Eastern Time when that big drop happened, the first candle.
That's correct. Because of the news. See, the whole
Mhm.
point is we have to get around. In fact, to take it a step further, one of the things that these groups or these people that some of you guys are following online, guess what they do? They, the first thing they do is what I've been telling y'all all along, check news. And what they will do, they'll just not trade at all. If there's a news event coming out during the time of their trade, they just won't trade at all. Or they'll say, hey, red flag news coming out. Let's just hold up and see what the market gives us afterwards. That's all they're doing. I'm telling you, these guys, they charge a lot of money for a lot of nothing. People think they're getting something special, and the truth is, they're very basic. And all you're going to learn from them after paying a lot of money is they are very consistent with one to two strategies. They stick with it, and they stick with it during certain times, and they don't like trading during news. That's all you're going to get from them. It's nothing magical. I promise you, I'm in a bunch of them. I know them. That's all you're going to get. But me being
Okay.
always saying, okay, what can I learn more? Or what can I do better as a trader? And that's so I'm sharing the same thing I'm telling you. And so that's the reason why for me, if it's not ocean wave, then guess what? I don't want to be bothered. Now, here's the other thing you can put in your notes is
Okay.
if I am going to take some trades at night before I go to bed,
Mhm.
what's what's the two pairs? And I'm gonna see if anybody gets to this. What's the two pairs I'm not going to really be looking to trade?
CHF, I think. Uh, oh, US. Wait a minute. Wait a
Keep on guessing. Keep on guessing.
minute.
Look at Matt's answer.
Yeah,
Matt got
let's see what he said. Hold on.
Matt's answer. He got it already.
EUR
And what else?
and AUD. Wait a
Hmm.
minute. Let me see. Oh, Matt. Oh, GBP and EUR.
Got it. The Great British Pound. GBP stands for
Oh,
Great British Pound and the Euro. I'm not trading the pound and the euro. Do you know why?
oh, I see. Because of the news that could come out.
Come on, that's
All
London.
right. I
That's
got it. And I got my bearings.
There you go. Because it's London session. Those are the two hottest. Those are the two hottest chicks in the market when the London session opens. I don't want to have no parts of they twerking. Okay, I don't want to have no parts of they twerking because that's where your stops get hit. A lot of how many times have I taken trades that were perfect setups, especially on them pairs, and then I went to sleep and woke up and my stop got hit for no righteous reason. There wasn't even any news events. There was nothing because those things be twerking in my sleep. So then I've learned to not sleep well when I'm taking trades during those times with those pairs. Well, no, I'm tired. So if I do take trades in the evening before I go to bed, it certainly won't be on them. I'll
Okay.
leave it. But at 7 a.m., if they offer an opportunity, guess what? I can take it comfortably. Why? Because y'all ain't twerking no more. Y'all the manipulation, all the news, whatever y'all had going on, that happened last night while I was asleep. So whatever you have today, it's more. I feel more comfortable with it. And
Oh,
there
it's
you,
calmed down a little bit more.
yeah, that's why. I'm avoiding the noise of the market. That's the key. Just avoiding the noise. Coming with a consistent routine and avoiding the noise. Now, from there, you're going to lose some trades, but you won't lose as many trades because you purposely bypass the storms of the markets. I don't want to have no parts of it. So now,
Okay, oh, Uncle P, can we look at CHF JPY right quick? That's one that I got up at 7 o'clock to look
yeah,
at.
and look at there.
It, and oh, you're on the 30 minute? Hold on.
That's a 30-minute arrow. Or let's take a look at the 15-minute. Look at the 15-minute arrow. You could have got a 415er. See, either way it goes, profitable. See, two candles tapping off the top, drop to the 15-minute, you got your arrow. So whether you did the 415er or whether you did the 30-minute arrow, that's a perfect example of what you're doing. Didn't
Okay.
matter. That's exactly it. And whatever this
Because
gives you, take it.
okay, because what I'm
That's
trying to do is get in at the top. But sometimes the arrow seems like it.
I ain't worried about that no more.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it because unless there's an arrow, no trade. Always remember that. No arrow, no trade.
Well, what I mean is, do you see the arrow there?
Hmm.
It seems like it because I'm trying to put my stop loss at the top. I want a tighter stop loss with the arrow being closer on the 30-minute,
Yeah.
for less drawdown.
Yeah. Well,
So that's what I'm trying to work on.
now I did build a bot, which I'll probably release because I plan on releasing the MT5s. I got the MT5 indicators ready for you guys. And so we'll talk about that next month. But I'll also build a bot also. So for an example, if I see something that's just looking really delicious, sis, really delicious, and you like, oh my God, I know this pair is gonna set up, but I know I gotta be disciplined and wait for the error, but I know for sure. Have you ever been like that? I know for sure. Oh, but I don't have
For
right, but
sure.
I know this one going, but I don't have my error. Well, I built a bot for its simplicity now, and I've tested it, and the thing works magically where you can actually just set up the bot, and when the arrow comes out, it will actually take the trade for you. And
Ooh,
you can preset your stop loss and you can preset your take profit in the settings and just say, hey, when the arrow comes in and it has a trim period, so you can set, I like to use trim period one, because all these other filters are already in
yeah.
there more. So I can set the trim period to one, and then I can preset and say, okay, look, I want you to have a 40 pip or a 20 pip or whatever stop loss, and then you can set whatever pip so before you take profit, and you just set it on there and just let it ride. So therefore, you don't even have to be there, and automatically once the arrow comes in on the charts, it'll identify it and it will take the trade for you. Yeah, I built it, and it's pretty cool. I like it. I like it. So that's coming up. I'll be
Can't
rolling.
wait.
Yeah, I'll be rolling that out in about a month or so. So yeah, but
Okay.
I just got to go back and build it for the MT5 as well because again, moving forward, starting next month, sometime next month, we'll have the MT4 and MT5 indicators ready for whoever needs. But yeah, it's
Derek
pretty.
said, my credit card ready. I'm sorry for laughing. That just got me. I'm sorry
And
about
all this stuff is really cheap. I'm not worried about it. Help out. But that would be one of those situations where, hey, I know this was going to have an arrow coming out soon, but I don't want to miss it. So what do I do? Because, of course, you have the scanner, which you can send the alert. If you have the scanner, then you automatically can do that too. Of course, that's always the option. But what if you're in a situation where you sleep, and even if the scanner sends you an alert for the U.S. citizens, the scanner sends you an alert, but you still sleep, so that means you still missed the opportunity. But that's where the bot comes in, where you be like, I know this one is going to be coming up soon with the arrow, and therefore, you know what, I'll go ahead and use my bot, and you just boop. And I'll show you guys how to set the template so that all you do is go in there and like I have a template right here and if I see something that's coming up, I just click on the 30-minute tab right here and click the scanner. And what's good about it, it's not just for the 30-minute. You can use it on any time frame you want. So even if you're on the 5-minute time frame, you say, I'm going to be disciplined to wait for this, or well, you can set it for the time. You can set it on any time you want by simply clicking the tab here and whatever time this is on, that's what arrow is going to look for. So you could have caught this one off the 5-minute using the bot. So this
Oh, okay.
yeah, so it's not set to 30-minute. I use it for 30-minute time frame or the 15-minute. But when you set that bot on that tab, see it says Swiss M5 down here at the bottom. So it's telling you, okay, I'm on the 5-minute time frame. So if I switch the bot on, it's going to be monitoring the arrows on that time frame that you have the chart on.
Okay.
That's so if you want it on the 15-minute, set it to the 15, click set the template for the bot, and then walk away and you're done. And it already has your take profit and your stop loss already set. So that's coming out too for you guys.
Yeah, like Miss Monica said, that's awesome. Can't
Yeah.
wait till it comes out.
Well, so anyway, that's that. That's that. And like I said, I built it for me because I was missing a lot of opportunities because I'm busy. I'm doing things that, I just don't. So, with stuff going on, I was missing stuff, even if I got the alert, but if I'm away, like at the beach or I'm going on a date with Nancy, I can't keep stopping and getting on my phone to take trades and this and that. So guess what? If I already know that, hey, I'm seeing a 415er coming up, checking my charts, I'm seeing that you bouncing up off this top. Okay, just waiting for you to drop your thing, and so there you go. You just set it up and let it do what it do.
Very
If,
nice.
if there's no arrow, it won't take the trade. So no loss there either.
Okay. Uncle P, can we look at USD JPY? That's the last pair. Well, that one came in, I think, on the 15-minute, but I'm still wanting to analyze that one.
Yeah. Now, see, because it's getting close to the close of London, I'm sorry, it's getting to the 10 o'clock hour. I'm not looking for any more trades to get into.
Right.
Yep, no, I'm done. Um, so around this time is where around 10 to 11, New York time is where I'm looking to, you know, evaluate whether I just need to hold the trade or whether to close the trade, but I'm not looking to get into a trade at this hour. Remember, my time of entry times, that's the point. Entry times, I don't care what arrows is coming. Now, this is just for me. You guys practice whatever works for you, and so you can see. But normally around this time is where the markets start doing their pullbacks. So do I really want to be in a reversal trade when the market is ready to pull back?
Ooh.
That's why I don't take them. So
Okay.
that's why for me personally, you guys test to see what works for you. But for me, I'm only looking for entries during that 6:30, 7 a.m. New York time. That's when I'm looking for my entries for the simplicity system. Okay. Specifically for this, whether it's a 415er, whether it's a 30-minute arrow, I only got two things I'm looking for at that time. Okay. Two strategies only, either a 415er or a 30-minute arrow. That's it. So I've already simplified my strategies. So I ain't got to go through a Rolodex in my head of all these different strategies to figure out which one's going to be a good fit. I only got two. Either you're going to be a 415er or you're going to be a 30-minute. And out of those two, I'm looking at a specific time within the 30-minute window, 6:30 to 7 a.m. New York time. That's it. That's when I'm looking for entries. After that, I'm done for entries. Now, around 10 to 12 noon, which is the window when Frankfurt is closing and London is closing, 10 to 12, that's when I'm looking to exit trades for the day. So now I'm just becoming a absolute pure day trader, unless I have to hold it because maybe, it just consolidated in the area and it still looks pretty good. Then I'll hold you for potential. Other than that, I'm done. So I'm already done. That's why, like I was telling you guys, the 7-Eleven, just like, the little corner store, that's little convenience store, 7-Eleven. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just think of it like that. 7-Eleven. 7 I'm in, 11 I'm trying to get out. 7-Eleven.
Okay. Thank you, Uncle P.
Welcome. Good stuff. All right, let's go to this person. I don't see a name. Let's just say Zoom.
Okay, that's me. How you doing?
Hey, hi, how are you?
Okay, good. So now I have two questions since we and I don't know if this is the right place, but I'm gonna ask and you can tell me. So now that we looked at CHFJPY for the previous person,
Yeah.
so I went there on my chart and I see the sale that was on your chart, but it's only on my 5-minute. It's not on my 30. So is something set up wrong for me? That was the first one.
Possibly your trend period. Let's go to indicator, right click on your charts
Okay.
and go to indicator list and then go to your simplicity, click edit, and you see right here, what is your trend period set to?
Trim 20.
That's why. Look at mine. Remember what I just told her?
Oh, okay.
Mine's is on 1. So always keep in mind, like I was teaching you guys in the tutorials, the trend period is set to filter out noise. Okay. But the higher the time frame, the less filter you need. And the way I used to teach is like coffee beans, and I never drink coffee. I don't like coffee, but you have the filters. Some people like a lot of grind still in their coffee, and some people like don't want none. So this depends on the filter. Okay, it filters out. So the more noise, the shorter the time frame, the bigger the filter you need. So in other words, if you're trading on the 1 minute and 5 minute, yeah, I probably would leave it on the 10 or 20 period on the trend period because it filters out more noise. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But if you're on a higher time frame, I don't need that high. So I can reduce it all the way down to a 1. So if you switch that to a 1, you'll probably start seeing the arrows come in.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. That was easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let me see. Yep, you're right. I see it. Okay, so that was one. So like a couple of times, a lot of times doing this training, you mentioned the 415. Now I'm familiar with the 7:30 10, but I don't know if I was on these trainings doing the 415.
Yeah,
Is
that's
there a
it.
place I can go to learn that, or what's the
Yeah, it's
just
in your tutorials. Go back through the tutorial videos. That's for the simplicity system. That's one of the first strategies in there that I taught. So
oh,
basically, yeah, it's in there. So basically, you go into the 4 hour time frame. You're looking for 2 or more candles, tapping off the top of the zone or tapping off the bottom of a zone. You drop to the 15-minute time frame and look for the arrow, and that's it.
oh, okay,
See,
okay,
too quick and easy. So if I
okay.
get the 15-minute, do I see 2 or more? Do you see 2 or more candles tap dancing off the top of this red zone? You
Not
see that?
topping off the.
Here's candle 1. Here's another one that came close, but either way it goes, that's close enough for me. So
Okay,
you see these 2 up here?
yeah,
See, this is not at the top of the zone. This one is here, and then you got another one that tried to come close. Sometimes they'll both touch, but one touches, one may be almost there. That's good enough for me. Drop down to the 15-minute, get the arrow, and that's it.
okay,
415er means you verifying on the 4 hour and you got the arrow on the 15-minute to confirm take the trade. That's it. That's all it is.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any last hands before we go? And thank you everybody for being in attendance. Thank you, YouTube family, and all of those who will be watching it later on. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Anybody else has a question? Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Raise your hand so I can talk to you. No, raise your hand so you can get the mic. There should be an icon to raise your hand, not in the chat, but to actually raise your hand so I can click on you to take your question so I can talk directly to you. One of the things I've learned a long time ago as an instructor is I prefer to talk to people directly because when people were sending me emails and all these different things, it got real ratchet. Down, you know what I mean. You answer one question, no, that ain't what I meant, and they go back and forth, and you 20 emails later, and everybody pissed off. And then just like the young lady who just came on, she asked a simple question, and within 2 seconds, she was like, "Oh, okay, that was it." And that's what we figured out. It was just okay if I can talk to you, it solves a lot of problems very quickly. Yeah, Taylor, there you go. All right, go ahead and unmute. It reduces a lot of confusion, I promise you. All right, Taylor, go right ahead. Taylor, go ahead and unmute your phone. And that was part of the reason why I started the classes. It's just better to talk to you directly. Now, if you just can't come to class and you have a class question on Tuesdays, send a question to superezforex@gmail.com and just let me know, hey, I'm going to be at work, but can you please answer this? And I'll try to make a note to myself to remember to answer your question that way. But if any way possible you can come to class, I prefer to do it this way because I can actually hear you. And if I got it wrong, you can re-explain it or I can re-explain it to you. And we walk away, both of us happy in a matter of less than a minute. Okay. Taylor, still waiting on you to unmute. Okay, go ahead and type your question, I guess, because I don't see, can't hear you. Okay, so nobody type in the chat box for a second. Go ahead and let Taylor. Taylor, go ahead. Yeah. What's your question? Go ahead and type your question real quick. And like I said, guys, some days are going to be great days. Some days you're not going to win the trade. You know, it is what it is. And you just come back tomorrow, do the same thing. Like for this one, see how it's slowing down now? Momentum is slowing down because it's a 10 o'clock hour. So therefore, if you did the 415er, you are going to take away 28 pips right here on this one, 27, 28 pips. I would just start taking my money and run. Call it a day, close it out. Here's the reason why. Let me do this while we're waiting on her to type, or her or him to type, Taylor, whoever that is. Let me go to my indicator list. Let's go to sexy analyst, and I'm going to change my supply and demand zones, and I'm going to add some colors so you guys can see this. All right, and let's make these white. All right, cool. All right, so now I just changed the colors to my supply and demand zones. What do you see happen right here? That's why the sexy analyst is important to me. So you're asking about setup. You can, but if you already have it on your charts, like I said, just because I hate when people spend money when you don't have to. Shoot an email to superezforex@gmail.com. And if you already have all the systems set up, then it's more of just coming to class and asking questions for just to make sure you're clear on how, on what you have. I don't really want you spending money if you don't have to. Because there is a fee for remote installations, and it's just $50. But still, why spend the money if you don't have to? Like the young lady who came earlier, all it was that she just needed to change her dream period, and that was free. So, do you have a specific system question, a specific setting? Okay, but anyway. Yeah, okay. You have the simplicity. What is your dream period on? Yeah, then just switch out. All right, see? That's free. All right, so watch this. Like I just told her, go in here, right click on them anywhere on your charts, right click. And this is being recorded and I'll post it later. So see, they don't cost nothing. See, right click anywhere on your charts. It's going to give you this list, options. Go to indicator lists, go to your simplicity, click edit. And right here, see yours is set to 20. Okay. All you have to do is double click in here, switch it to 1. Click OK. Close this out. And then under your, whatever you named your template, just go in there and save it. So mine's is saved under Sexy Simple. So I click that to save. It says, do you want to override the previous template? You click yes, and you're all done. Yeah, well, same thing. It's no different. That's my whole point. Still, the trend period is still a 1. So you're asking about using the 4:30 strategy? Yeah, just get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, New York time, come and look for a 30-minute arrow. That's all you're doing. And then you go to the 4-hour and see if it makes sense. And you can see it's tap dancing off the top of the zone. So there you go, 4:15 or the 30. That's all you're doing. That's more of a strategy thing than paying for a setup. That's why I wanted you don't spend the money if you don't have to, because that's more of coming to class to learn different ways you can use the system. That's where I come in. Okay. Yeah. That personal installation, they don't do. No. I got a person for that, but they don't answer trade questions. They just install and they charge a fee and they do an install for you. That's it. They ain't answering no questions on strategies. Okay. They in and out. Just like Best Buy. If you take your computer to Best Buy, they're going to come in and they're going to help you set it up. That's it. They ain't going to tell you all the, well, this is how all the different things you can do it. No, you got to go to a specialist for that. And that's where this class comes in. Okay. Well, like I've been talking about all morning, if you're going to do the 30-minute strategy, just come 7 and please, all right, everybody, write this down. Let me be clear. Let me be very clear. Okay, look at me really close, everybody, because I said this all morning long. For the 30-minute arrow, come to the charts between 6:30 and 7 a.m. New York time, Eastern Standard Time. And if you see an arrow, you go to the 4-hour time frame and see, does it look like it's in a sell position off the 4-hour? Okay, in other words, here's my zones. Is it bouncing off of the zones? Cool. Then I think this sell arrow is legit. Take it. That's it. That's it. Don't make it no more complicated. I've been saying all morning long, I don't trade the Asian session. I don't trade the London session. I don't do all those. I have been saying all morning long, I come pre-New York, one time a day, 7 a.m., basically 6:30 to 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You come and you look for the arrow. That's it. Okay, that's it. So it's not about trading all these sessions. You come in one time a day, you look for it. If you don't see nothing, you come back tomorrow, do the same routine. And then you come back tomorrow, do the same routine. Okay. Therefore, all those other sessions, no, I personally don't. Now, here's the deal. You can, if you want to, you can. Because maybe you live in London. Maybe you don't know. I don't know where everybody is. So maybe, do what you want. But for me, with the 30-minute arrow, no, I'm in and I'm out. 7 to 10 or 7 to 11. Because, like, for an example, you can see right here, look at this. The arrow came in, it did some nice dropping, gave you some nice pips, 27 pips, and immediately, I told you guys, 10 o'clock, look at it. What is it doing right now as we speak? Right now as we speak. Going right back up. As I said earlier, with the ocean wave, I'm looking at between, and I would just give you a solid time, just 10 o'clock, New York time, 10 o'clock p.m. Remember? Okay. Make sure you guys are looking at look at this class and review it several times, because some of these questions that you guys are asking, I have already said it multiple times throughout class today, multiple times, exactly what times I'm looking and what systems. So as I said, if I'm going to use the ocean wave, I'm going to use that nighttime. Okay. And I even said what pairs I'm not going to be looking at and which pairs I will. Okay. So make sure you guys watch the review on this, because I covered those things. Okay. And I apologize if I didn't cover it good enough, but I thought I did. So ocean wave is at night, arrows in the morning. Okay. Ocean wave at night, arrows in the morning. Okay. Okay. Everybody good? You good on that one? Okay, cool. Got it. Good. Yeah. So make sure to watch this class over and over and over again. Okay. Until it, and I'll never forget, and there's nothing wrong with that. I remember I had an instructor, who was, or when I was learning early on, and he said, go back and watch my tutorials, because he said what happens is the more you watch them, the more you're going to realize how much you missed. And so when I started doing that, and I would go back on my weekends and I would just watch his class over and over and over again. And it seemed like every single time I went back to watch his class, he was right. I missed something. So this is one of those classes. Just go back and rewatch it in your leisure. Just watch it throughout this week, and especially through next week, because there won't be any classes. I'll be out of the country. But just replay it, and you'll begin to hear me say, and you just take those notes. Make sure you're noting it down to say, okay, here's what time he said he's doing it. Now, again, you guys can play with this to adjust to whatever floats your boat, but I'm just telling you what's working best for me. And you're going to have some good days. You're going to have some bad days. But as far as the routine itself, this is the routine that seems to be working best for me. Okay. Last but not least, I was telling you guys around the 10 o'clock hour, and you can see I'm in New York time, Eastern time. Look what happened. Soon as it hit this trend line and it hit a supply zone, look what happened. Price instantly stopped dropping, and now it's pulling back up. That's why I said you're literally in and out of these trades. And this is a perfect example. So if you did the 415er, you netted about 30 pips or so, and you got out. You're done. That would have been a nice trade, right? Yes. And this is one right here in class. This is 415. So again, strategy is tap 2 candles, touching the top, drop to the 15-minute, and there's the arrow. That was all it was. If you're doing a 30-minute arrow, pretty much same thing. You're just doing off the 30-minute arrow. Boom, boom. I see that it's in my sell zone. And if you have some sexy analysts, it's in the demand area. Drop to the 30-minute. I got an arrow. Grab me up a couple of pips. That would have gave you about 24 pips off the 30-minute arrow. And boom, you're out of there. You're already done for today. Okay. So basically you can see this is the time you're already done you're already done trading for today. That's why I like it. I'm in and I'm out. I'm done. I'm already finished. I'm becoming back to becoming a pure day trader. Okay. Pure day trader. Okay. Did that make sense? Type of 600 if that makes sense. Now, if you're using Ocean Wave, remember you're not a reversal trader because all of these are based on reversals. When you use an Ocean Wave, those are trend trades. So you're looking specifically for trades that are trending and you're catching that trend and just riding on down. So that's why that one is totally different. It's totally different strategy. That's why I do those at nighttime. Okay, around let's just say I used to say 9, but see if more and more news is being pushed at 9 o'clock, let's push it to 10. When the markets adjust themselves, you have to adjust too. Okay. So now we're going to push it 1 hour extra just to make sure all Asian news is out of the way. So Ocean Wave trades, yeah, I look at them. If I do trade at night, I'm going to use Ocean Wave and go from there. Okay. At the beginning of the week, Sundays, especially Sunday, Mondays, and on some Tuesdays. So that's pretty much it when I use that one. Grab some nice setups on those, and then I'm done with that one. Okay. But if I'm using the arrows, the simplicity system, I'm coming 6:30 to 7 a.m. New York time, I'm looking for my arrows just to verify whether they're 4:15 or 4:30. Basically, if you're doing the same thing, it's just which arrow you're taking, what time frame, either the 15-minute or the 30. Okay. Okay. And you're in and you're out. Very simple stuff. Very, very simple. Everything is kept simple, just like basically I'm pushing us back to where we originally started. Because the whole theme of super easy is basically simple enough your kids can do it. Your kids could have came in and saw this arrow. Hey, Johnny, do you see an arrow? Yes. Here, Johnny, go to the 4-hour time frame. Do you see 2 things touching the top? Yes. Okay. Right click. Boom, boom, boom. 30 seconds worth of work. Okay. 2 or 3 steps. That's it. Nothing complicated. Okay. See, look at that. As soon as I hit that box, price action stopped in the box, and now it's retracing. That's why you want to just take your money and run. Okay. Take whatever the market gives you and get out for that day. If it didn't give you anything, okay, just come back tomorrow. If you take a little small loss, okay, that's cool. Or if you really like the way it looks on the 4-hour, then yeah, then I'll make an exception. I may hold it overnight because I still like that it's still within this range here. So long as it don't break out of this box, I'm cool. I'll hold it. No problem. But the 4-hour is where I justify everything that I'm doing. If it ain't justified on the 4, I don't want it. Okay. So whether you're taking a 30-minute arrow, 15-minute arrow, it got to be justified on the 4. I got to make sense here. If I'm buying, it got to be in that green box making sense. If I'm selling, got to make sense on this green box. Oh, cool. Thank you, Taylor. See? Good. Good. Everything is determined by what happens on the 4-hour for me. Then I drop down and I'll start looking for these arrows and see if they make any sense. Do they make any common sense to me? But I justify everything on the 4-hour first. If it don't make sense here, I don't care what's happening down there. So that's where the 4:30 or the 4:15 comes in. 4:30 means 4-hour, make it make sense. Then you get an arrow on the 30-minute, which gives you more confirmation because it's less noise. The higher the time frame, the less noise. But if you're a little bit more risk tolerance, then you do the 4:15, which means you're taking up arrows off the 15-minute. Basically, you're doing the same thing. It's just one has more risk, one has less. 30-minute has less risk because it is a higher time frame, so less noise. 15-minute has more noise, so there you go. But it's pretty much that's it. 1, 2 steps. 4-hour, arrow. 4-hour, arrow. 4-hour, 30-minute arrow, 4-hour, 15-minute arrow. That's it. Taylor, you see why it's good to come to class? See, simple stuff can be answered in here. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for class today. Thank you very much for attending. And again, thank you for sending the love. And again, guys, I just want to continue to encourage you guys that handle your business. Handle your business. Let me say this in closing before you go. If you have children or responsibilities, we all think we're going to be here forever, but the truth is we're not. We're just not going to be here forever. Okay. So make sure that you're putting things in order now. If you don't have a will, there's plenty of companies that will do free wills, or they'll do it for a very, very low cost or whatever. And that alone will help to reduce the number of fights that's going on after you're gone. I don't know if you've ever been to a funeral with a loved one, and before the funeral even ends, people are already discussing who's going to try to get what. Have y'all ever experienced that? Been at a funeral and before, the casket ain't even hit the ground, or you know what I mean? Cremation ain't even took place, and everybody already fighting and arguing over who's going to get what. Who's going to get this? Who's going to get that? And no, you ain't. Well, we going to court, and it just gets messy. It just gets messy. Okay. What me and Nancy have already done, we had a will drawn up already. We already have ours done. We had it done for a while now. And then what we did was, because here's the other problem, and I want to be very clear, hear me very good on this. The other problem is a will means nothing if nobody knows you have it. I'll repeat, a will means absolutely nothing if nobody knows you have one. Okay. Oh yeah, I got a will. Well, who knows that you have one? Because if you pass away and nobody knows you have a will, it's as good as you not having one. Okay. So what we did, we selected a person on my side of the family, and we selected a person on her side of the family. And watch this. We chose 2 people who we know don't need money. So if you're possibly going to do what I'm doing, choose people who don't need money. Don't send it to broke people in your family. Because guess what? They are only going to have the best interests of themselves after you're gone. Type amen if you hear what I'm saying. I want to make sure y'all clear on what I'm saying. Yeah, you may be close with this person, but they get a hot mess. You know you know it. You know they're a hot mess. Don't leave your will to them, because they're going to continue to be a hot mess. They're going to try to take everything and keep it, and they're not going to do right by the remaining family members. Okay? They're just not, because they're ratchet and crazy. You knew that. You like hanging out with them, but that don't make them good business people. Okay? So select people who you know will be fair and neutral. And so we selected the person. I got a lot of family members on my side. I got 4 brothers, 4 sisters. I got a large family, so I could have picked any one of them. So it was hard to choose, because I don't want anybody thinking that, oh, you didn't know. But we had to choose one. So we chose one of my brothers, and we chose one of her sisters. And we sent the will to both of them. So that if anything happens to me and Nancy at the same time, guess what happens? Both of them have the will. They both know exactly what our wishes are. Okay. And what's great is because they are not concerned about what they're going to get out of it. They're going to be looking at it from the best interest of my children and grandchildren. Okay. And same thing for Nancy. Okay. Because I don't want the burden to be on people. It's already hard enough to lose a loved one, but then to have left a burden on everybody to figure out how to put your fractured life together because you was too lazy to do it. You was all about partying, having a good time, smoking, drinking, and having good weed and having good sex and this and that. And then you leave. If anything happens to you, then everybody else have to put your life together. They got to pick up the remains and try to, and that's not fair to them. Type amen if this is making sense, please. That's not fair. You love having sex, but then guess what? It comes with kids. Now you got all these kids, and then something happened to you. Now everybody else got to take care of your kids with no money, no nothing, because the kids, they're trying to prevent them from going into foster care system. So, but now they weren't expecting to take on your burden of your children because you was just having a good time throwing your thighs open or slinging your wangy, everywhere you went. Now all of a sudden, everybody else is responsible for your proclivities. If you're going to have a good time, then take responsibility not only for the present moment, but for the future as well, to make sure that your proclivities, the things that you created, you already have a plan to clean up your mess if you're not here. Yes, sir, I said it. Yes, ma'am, I did say that. Because that's what constantly happens all the time. Number two, nobody needs to fight over who's going to get what, because you already put a will together and said, here's where things need to go. And you've established two trusted family members to say, hey, these people are going to have possession of my document so that there's no argument over it. None. Can y'all give me 1 more minute, 2 more minutes? I want to share a story of what I did for somebody. Can I get 2 more minutes? All right. Realistically, and I never got back into it, but I'm very good at real estate. Very, very good at real estate. I understand real estate, and I've done a lot of it. But I just got out of the game. But one of the things I did had to be done for some family members years ago. Big Mama had owned an apartment. It was a 4-unit apartment, and she was getting older. And she didn't want it. She was old. She was in her 80s. Okay. And so she ain't even dead yet. She ain't even dead yet. And crackhead family members and all these other people already arguing over who gonna get what. She ain't even dead yet. Okay. And so I knew Big Mama wanted these 2 trusted cousins to have possession of. No, it wasn't just the 4-unit; it was also the house. The house too that she was living in. So Big Mama wanted these 2 trusted cousins to have it. Okay. And so what I did, while she still had mental faculties in place, and see, this is the benefit of studying, becoming good at what you do, studying your craft. So I decided, I said, okay, here's what we're actually going to do. Because it was already talks of going to court, and Big Mama didn't know. So I said, she ain't dead yet. Ain't even dead yet. She's still cooking meals and still walking around shopping and doing her thing. They're already trying to plot to take over her stuff, and she ain't even dead yet. She wasn't even near the grave yet. She was old, but she wasn't even just ratchet. Okay, so here's what I did. I say, okay, one day I said, Big Mama, let's take you shopping, grocery shopping, like we normally do. Take her grocery shopping. But instead of grocery shopping, me, Big Mama, and these 2 cousins, we went down to an attorney's office. And what we did was, I used some savvy movement in real estate. I had both of the cousins' names added to the deed. Are some of y'all following me yet? Type of 40 if you're following me. See if y'all get this. I had Big Mama while she had her mental faculties and could still speak clear and everything else. And the 2 cousins, and I took them to the attorney's office and had the attorneys sign them on to the deed. Here's what happened. Big Mama eventually passed away. I think she was in her 90s. Okay. So the greedy people came out talking about what they was going to get. And here's the problem. You can go to court all you want. You get nothing. You know why? Because the surviving members who own the property as well have already been established before she passed away. So there was no need for probate court because you still have two owners. So in essence, what I did was I made it a 3-owner property by adding them onto the deed before she passed away. So when she passed away and everybody arguing over this and that, what you mean? Yeah, go ahead and go to court. But it doesn't matter because the two cousins, their names is already on the property. They're part owner of the property. You just didn't know it. And you can't fight that because they're legal owners. They're not supposed to become the owners. They are the owners already. It was Big Mama and cousin 1 and cousin 2 on the deed to the properties. So we just bypassed all that noise and they got pissed, but so what? You being pissed off ain't gonna change it. They're already the owners. It only took a couple of, hour or two to get that done. Meet with the attorney, pay him a little fee. They write it up and there he was. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That's handling your business. Handling your business. Okay? Handling your business. I lost both my mother and my father. And I didn't argue over who was going to get what. What am I getting out of it? I got parents who loved me. And I got 4 brothers and 4 sisters. I'm not about to go to war with y'all over some remaining stuff. And why? Because even if I did, the possessions I get, guess what? When it's my turn to hit the grave, all of that I fought to keep, to get, it's going to end up in your hands anyway, too. So why fight over it? What's for me is for me. Gotta see fit that I get what's mine. I don't have to go to war with people. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Type of 1,000 if you hear what I'm saying here, and I'll let y'all go. I'm just sharing thoughts. What's for me will be for me. I don't have to fight you. And even if I have to do things legally to do, got to be done, okay, that's fine. God will be with me because I know I'm doing the right thing, not because I'm trying to be ratchet and greedy, knowing full well that I'm just going to waste whatever I get anyway. What's for me is for me. All right, you guys. Thank you for hearing me out. May God bless your week, and I will talk to you guys week after next. Again, I'm going to be out of the country, and because next week is my birthday, and also Nancy's brother, who is a police officer, retired, and I went to his retirement party. Man, that was crazy. That I never seen that. Man, that dude was loved. Rented out a whole entire club, two floor club, and it was full of people at his retirement party. Man, that was nuts. That was crazy. But now we're also going to go on to a cruise, and it's going to be like 40 or 50 of us. So, so we're going to be out of the country for about a week. So the week after next, I'll be back. I may come back when I come back from the cruise. For those who missing systems, I may throw a little discount out, birthday discount for you guys. I know we just had the 4th of July and you should have got everything you needed, but if not, I might do something when I get back, just to help out. Okay. But either way it goes, I love you guys sincerely. Donna, thank you for